I'm really tired now.
I know.
I wanna do their video.
Yeah, I'll be last.
Okay. No,
Yeah.
Because this is the moment.
Oh, this is the moment.
You may not get it again.
Okay.
Yes. So you told me your name is
ANOTO in China.
ANOTO in China.
ANOTO. ANOTO
ANOTO
in China.
ANOTO is your real name or is
it? It's my real name. Very unique. If you come across anybody with the name ANOTO, yes. I pay you 10,000.
Oh, 10,000
Kenyan shillings, not dollars for now.
Yeah. On Facebook, you'll find ANOTO. Your family name.
No, maybe you'll find one or two of my family colleagues of my clan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, I see you have a DJ Action 4.
Action 4.
We have this camera actually.
You have it here in.
Yeah, somebody brought us a gift. Two of them.
Okay.
But we gave out the other one.
Yeah.
Yes.
I bought it in China at 3,600 yuan. Coming to ask the price here in Nairobi, they tell me 120,000.
They must be crazy expensive.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, so I've traveled all the way from China. I booked. Hold this for me.
The only thing is shoes.
Yeah.
Because these people are really cleaning.
Yeah, I know. I have to remove my V8.
This is your V8?
Yeah, my V8 is so big. It needs
He's removing his V8.
Yeah, my V8. Not Subaru.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay. ANOTO, what are you doing in China?
I'm studying in China and at the same time I'm having fun documenting about my life experiences in China.
You've made it already.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes people want that opportunity just to be some. You know, sometimes when we are home, people don't really appreciate us.
Yeah.
Maybe when we are far away, people start seeing us from far. Then when we come home, they say, "Oh, you are that guy we saw in China." You know.
Yeah.
So ANOTO.
Yeah.
What's the plan of today?
First of all, while I was in China, I was in communication with your PA.
Okay.
Through booking model.
Okay.
And they left me hanging because I was planning to travel here and I had booked already.
Okay.
So the last communication was, you just come and then we will, when you are here, we'll tell you when to come.
Yeah.
And then from there, I sent an email 4 weeks ago, nothing.
Yeah, 4 weeks ago, it means the day the party started.
Yeah.
Because once the party started, I think it's overwhelming.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. But anyway, I said they must
imagine come. Right now, the party has ended.
Yeah.
The way you're seeing things.
Yeah.
Imagine when the party is here.
Yeah, I was seeing on the lives and on your YouTube channel, it was very, very crazy. But I
hold for us, Ken.
Yes. I thank God that you've gotten this opportunity to be able to accept me.
Let me put you on my channel also, so you have a chance.
All right.
Guys, we have a guy from China. His name is ANOTO.
ANOTO in China.
ANOTO in China.
ANOTO in China.
What if you leave China? Will you change your name?
Yeah, I will change. But first of all, because China is the place I've started content creation, I want, if I get that silver baton, to have that ANOTO in China, so that when I move elsewhere, it will remind me of my journey.
So you use VPN to access it?
Yeah, I use VPN
all the time.
Yeah. Without VPN, I cannot watch a Mago. I cannot access Gmail. Any Google stuff. Yeah, so we use VPN.
And does it mean that actually, like, most Chinese don't know anything about Google?
They have VPNs also.
Okay.
All of them, most of them I meet, they have VPNs. So they love YouTube, they love things from the West.
Instagram.
Yeah, Instagram, they are on Facebook. Although the Chinese TikTok, they have a Chinese version of TikTok called Douyin. So that is only accessible to the Chinese people. But for the international version of TikTok, if you have a Chinese mobile number, you remove it and then you can access the international version of TikTok.
Wow, guys, that's life in China.
Yeah.
So ANOTO, what brings you to Ayamaro after the party? Why did you not come before the party?
They say he who laughs last laughs better. So
that's the game.
You know,
guys, please don't come. Yes, please don't come.
Yeah.
You know, actually, I was told that they have put 2 people outside the gate, and they had to ask me, should they come or... Guys, please don't put me in a compromising situation where you reach and say, I was chased from Ayamaro. Please don't. The party is over. I need 1 week to rest, at least a week. So at least I can enjoy Christmas. Like today I'm going to visit Alex, as I already told you. So if I talk too much, when I go there, my battery is low. Oh, I need to get another one.
So
Let me bring my battery. But we can still do. You can bring me a new battery. Where can you charge? Then you get a new one.
how long does your battery last?
That means the video is 1 hour.
1 hour.
Yes.
Okay.
Because me, I don't. All my shots go in. Like I'm not the guy who cuts, edits.
Just flow.
I'm living life.
Yeah.
And with all imperfections, we live life. You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm embracing that from you actually.
Yeah.
Because when I was starting, I see people do fancy edits, and I don't have time for that. I just want the raw and cut experience. My life in
That's
China.
life. That is life.
Yeah.
Why would you run away from that real life?
Yeah.
And you want everything edited?
Yeah.
Maybe then people should watch a Netflix movie because it's scripted. You know.
Yeah. You had a really harsh experience in Hong Kong.
That is one of my.
I watched that video.
16 hours. And actually, before 16 hours, I had taken a flight from Los Angeles. So, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I plan to go back.
Welcome back.
But I don't know how I will go back because they will be waiting for me again to deport me.
No, just come. You never know.
Yeah. No, I will go. I will go this time,
Yeah.
ready to be deported, and I see what will happen.
I don't know why you had such an experience.
Yes.
Because most of the people from other parts, the Chinese give you a very good reception.
No, you know, Hong Kong, by that time, they were protesting. And they had do things to do with, I didn't really like videos and stuff. Maybe they thought I'm like, you know.
Spying on them.
Maybe, I don't know. Because that time, Hong Kong was going through this. We don't want China to take us. We want, you know.
Yeah, but sorry about that experience. It gives you more experiences to share, so that when you talk to us, we can really know there's ups and downs of traveling. Some place you can be received, some place they cannot even receive you.
Wow.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? This is Richard from Richard Drilled, here with my best friend Marwa.
Yes, this is Marwa.
And this is actually going to go on his YouTube channel.
Yes.
Wait.
Before we do the interview...
We can always cut it. Okay.
Okay. Before we do the interview, ensure you check Richard's YouTube channel at the end and see what he does, so you can support him, subscribe to his channel.
Maybe you want to start it over then? Let's start it.
Right. No, we can cut it when editing.
Okay, so a couple of days ago, I took you to the airport so you can go to Hong Kong, and then now you're back in my house. What happened?
Yeah, so I before that we booked flights days before. So we booked flights from here to Hong Kong. My initial plan was to go to Thailand, but all cheap flights were heading through Hong Kong to Thailand. So we decided, it can't be a good idea if I stay in Hong Kong for a week, or maybe, actually, to be very specific, 8 days. Then from there I catch my next flight from Hong Kong to Thailand, which is only 3 hours. And flying from San Francisco to Hong Kong was 15 hours.
Right, so as soon as you got to Hong Kong, what happened?
So I arrived in Hong Kong. I go through the normal, procedures of going to the immigration. So I got out of the flight, I took a train. There's a train which takes you to the immigration area. So going at the immigration area, so there were not many people. So I gave this lady, the immigration officer, she was a lady who was to serve me. I gave her my passport. She just looked and saw my passport like this. And she talked to the friend who was not really a friend, but the other immigration officer, like, hey, Kenya. And she didn't do much. She just took my passport. She went to the, from the front desk, she took my passport and she went, there was a small office just behind her. She took my passport to another officer there. And within like 1 minute, this officer returned to her front desk and there was a new officer lady who told me, hey, come. So I had to cross, and I followed her. So when I followed her, she took me to another room with different officers. And I was sitting there. There were other people from... as I was sitting there, other people came from Ukraine. So there was a couple, there was another single lady, and there was me. So I was sitting there, this other guy came and said, Mr. Ondari, already they have my passport, you know. Say, Mr. Ondari, Frederick. Said, oh, I'm right here. So he took me to another room and started asking me questions. So he asked me questions like, oh, is your name Frederick? I said yes. Oh, Frederick Maro? I said yes. And he asked me, what was my purpose to visit Hong Kong? I say, I'm a tourist. I'm visiting Hong Kong as a tourist. He asked me, which places do you want to visit in Hong Kong? I was like, you know, that was really confusing, because normally when you're a tourist, you want to discover new places.
Sure.
So, but the good thing is your sister-in-law had sent me some recommendations, places to go,
yes.
You know, especially like places to visit. So I said, actually, I have an email here with recommendations, places to visit. So I showed him the email. He went through the email. He saw the email had different recommendations of different places in Hong Kong, and also beyond Hong Kong, other countries.
I know she talked to you for at least an hour where to go in Hong Kong. So
yeah, actually,
you were going to be a real tourist. Yeah.
Yeah. She had given me like places to stay. She had recommended these are good places. These are more lively places, nightlife places. So going to Hong Kong, I had more than enough information.
Yes.
But I was not like really specific. Like I want to go to this place. I just wanted to go after settling down. I was there for 9 days. You know, if I was to stay there, 9 days was enough time for me to get lost and also to rediscover. And actually, I like when I don't plan places I go, because once you get lost, it becomes an adventure of understanding everything. So when this officer asked me that question, it was a little not making a lot of sense. Like, which exact places do you want to visit in Hong Kong? But again, I had some proof for him. I showed him the recommendation and he read it. Then he asked me first there's something I'm forgetting. When he asked me, are you Frederick? The first thing he asked me, the first time when I met this officer who interviewed me, he asked me for my flight ticket that the airline I had used to fly in. Mm-hmm. So, you know, at the end, you'll see how that makes sense. So, yeah, so he asked me another question. He asked me, how long are you planning to stay in Hong Kong? I said, I'm planning to stay here for 8 days. I told him maybe if I find more time, I might visit Macau, because I'm told from Hong Kong to Macau is just a boat ride.
Yes.
So I told him maybe if I find more time, I may visit Macau, but it's something I've not really like made a decision on. But in Hong Kong, I'm staying for 8 days, and I'm flying out from here to Thailand. Then he asked me, and actually, as I said there, and I told him, actually, I have a ticket for Thailand. He told me, oh, show me the ticket. I showed him the ticket was confirmed, everything, and my flight was there. Then he asked me, so where are you staying in Hong Kong? I pulled out, I had booked 2 Airbnbs. The first one was actually a capsule. I wanted to make a video about capsules. I don't know if you know capsules, places to stay. It's like a small, looks like a washing machine type of room. So I showed him where I was staying for 2 nights. Then from there, I showed him the rest of the nights where I was staying. Then he ended up asking me, do I have a credit card? I told him I don't have a credit card, but I had cash with me. And he asked me how much I had. I told him I had over $1,000 with me. So actually for me, as a traveler, $1,000 for 9 days, it's not risky. Like, it cannot be said, oh, this is little or this is too much, you know?
Yes.
$1,000 for 8 days for me made a lot of sense. Then he asked me if I had friends in Hong Kong. I said, no, I don't have friends. I'm just traveling alone. Then what else did he ask me? He asked me for a flight out of Thailand. I realized like I was trying to do everything I could, but at the end of the day, it didn't happen. I mean, he was trying to ask me all questions that he could, and I was answering them. And for me, it felt like he was trying to pin me in any other question. He was trying to look for a question.
He's looking for a weakness, your weakness, or
reason. He's trying to find any reason because, he already asked me where I'm staying, my flight out, if I have money, already those all questions, I had their answers.
Yes.
Then, what other question did he ask me? Actually, those were the only questions he asked me. Mm-hmm. If I'm forgetting any, maybe at the end of the video, if you keep watching, I may remember and tell you.
Sure.
So he tells me, okay, so he tells me to go back and sit the common area. So I sat at the common area. I saw him walk around. He went to another room. Then he told me, okay, follow me. So I followed him. We walked like maybe 100 meters to another office. And when I went to that office, he told me to sit down in a place. So there were other officers there. So he told me to sit down. So when I sat down, he put this tape, like at the airport where they put these tapes.
Sure.
So he put that tape in front of me and he went talking to other officers and he came back saying, oh, Mr. Frederick, from now on you are detained and we are hereby announcing your refusal to entering Hong Kong. I was like, what? Like it caught me by surprise.
Yes.
So, and as I was speaking, this guy brought papers to me and told me, sign here. Like he didn't give me even time to ask questions, why and everything. So I was assigning, I was like, you know what? I don't want to sign these papers. But he was like, hey, you have to sign this too. So when he left,
so these papers were for you you agreed that you're going to leave Hong Kong.
Yeah, those papers were for me to agree, but I really didn't want to sign them all.
Understand.
So it stopped in the middle, and I told the other officers who were handling me. After he announced that, he told me to sign, and he left, and other officers came to talk to me, and I told him, no, I think I have a problem. I need to speak to the boss. I wanted to speak with the boss of the immigration, the top of the top guy.
Sure.
And they said, so you don't agree with what you are trying to sign here? I said, no, I don't agree with it. I want to speak to the boss. I want to know exactly why am I being detained, why I can't enter. And actually, we don't need visa to Hong Kong as a Kenyan citizen. So he told me, okay, wait, let me go bring the boss. The same guy came. Same guy came back as the boss. So that's when I realized like there's nothing much I can do. But I had to talk to him. I told him, hey, why are you denying me visa? I told him this is treating me inhuman, This is purely treating me inhuman. And the funny thing is, as you guys have seen from the video, the start of the video, there's this white guy I was with. He was flying from the US, but they let him go in.
So the Americans went in, no problem.
Yeah, the Americans went in. They had no problem. And even my desk mate, my seatmate, the guy I was sitting with, the whole of these 15 hours, they let him in. They didn't say anything. They didn't even ask him questions.
He was just American?
Yeah, he was just an American. They didn't ask him anything. And for me, I had all, I travel a lot internationally, and I know probably most of the immigration will ask you a place you're staying. They might ask you for your flight out. They will ask you for, most of the immigrations, they will ask you for how much money you have. And maybe reason of visiting.
Yes.
So when the same officer came back after requesting for me to get like the boss, he came back and I told him, no, I think, bro, you're treating me inhuman because what do I lack here? Why are you saying I can't enter Hong Kong? What threat do I offer you? Maybe under what grounds? Can you give me a statement explaining why you actually, it's him who made the decision. So why you made this decision for me not to go into Hong Kong? He kept repeating the same thing. Immigration reason. So I said, which is this immigration reason? He repeats immigration reason.
Yeah, in my experience, I've immigration will never ever tell you why. They'll just say no, and they will never ever say why. That's my experience, and that happened to you. They won't say they're racist. They won't say whatever reason. They just say no.
So, you know, man, my mind was blown, but I didn't want to be like overreactive. So in my mind, my other side of my mind was like, you know what, just calm down. No matter what happens. But the funny thing now, when this guy left, another officer came and told me to sign this letter. There's this letter here. So I don't want to put my details out there, but I'll do it like this. So he told me to sign this letter. Actually, this letter is just to agree that I've been refused, and I agreed to it.
So it says refusal notice.
Yeah, refusal notice. Yeah. And it's the last letter that I signed. And after signing this letter, there's nothing much I could do. So, you know, when I talked to the main guy, when I talked to him, I feel like he felt bad too.
Mm-hmm.
He felt
this is a different person.
No, not this guy. Mm-hmm. The guy who had refused me the entry. When I talked to him, I told him this is inhuman because I have all the documents you need. Why are you refusing me? He left even without, you know,
yes.
He's just told me immigration reasons, then he left.
Yes.
Then when I signed this paper, he came back and told me, oh, you already signed the paper. So it was like a trick. Like all he needed from his side was me to sign this paper.
Yes.
But you see, after asking for the boss, and they brought the same guy, you know,
yeah.
I asked for the boss of the immigration, they brought the same guy. I talked to him, he never gave me a reason, he told me immigration reason. Then after signing this paper, he came back saying, oh, you already signed the paper. So I just kept quiet. Yeah. So I looked at him and he left.
So at this point, how many hours have you been in Hong Kong?
So I landed in Hong Kong at 8 p.m. Mm-hmm. At this point, it was around maybe 10 p.m. 2 hours.
2 hours. 2 hours. Yeah.
So from there, what happened is after signing this paper, now I was under arrest, you know.
Yes.
So they told me I have to go through the normal procedures of the airport. So they wanted to check my bag. So they had to take me through customs. So customs should go through my bags and check everything. And actually, that was one of my scariest part, because I was like, what are these people actually looking for? You know, yes. What are the intentions? Because for me, it was super scary, because all they need is just to drop a pellet of this in your bag and you're fucked up, you know, mm-hmm. in your entire life. And I was like, man, you know, I was really scared. So, you know, I was scared, but I was not like shaking like I'm scared. I was so keen to see what actually is happening, you know.
Yes.
So when one immigration officer took me to the customs, and the ladies were checking my bag, and everything they could find was electronics, cameras, and hard disk, hard drives, and my clothes. Mm-hmm. So they asked me why I'm having lots of cameras. I told them I'm a YouTuber. Actually, one of the ladies...
So you're already denied after you told them you didn't tell me you were a YouTuber until you got denied.
No, this is customs. So this is not immigration. So
no, but they didn't deny you because you're a YouTuber.
No, they didn't deny me because I was a YouTuber. Yeah. Because this guy asked me, some of the questions he asked me is, what's my job? Mm-hmm. And I told him I'm a filmmaker who is a freelancer, mm-hmm. and I work with Google, because technically Google pays me. So, and he asked me, do you have evidence to prove like you receive money from Google? Mm-hmm. I had documents. I showed mm-hmm. him. But
did you think this made any decision? Did this help them decide to deny you, or not really?
That should have even made them give me the entry, because I'm proving like I have a job. Sure. You know?
But you know, I see a lot of your comments. People are saying they don't want a YouTuber going to Hong Kong. You don't think that's
no, for me, I think it's more of my passport. You know? Okay. It's more of my passport, and also the color of my skin. I know some people will be saying, "Oh, Mara, you have to pull that." Sure. But I think showing up.
But they already said no, kind of, before. As soon as you showed your passport, they said, "Hey, you go over here." Right?
Yeah, because you know. I'm very sure of this. If I had a different passport, let's say a US passport, they wouldn't have pulled me to.
That's right.
Because the first lady even didn't serve me. He didn't ask me my name. He didn't ask me the purpose of traveling. Sure. You know, he didn't ask me the normal immigration questions, you know. I just arrived and he looked at my passport. 1 minute, he was handing it over to the next person.
Right.
So it's like, for me, I felt it's like in their system, they already said, like, if you see such people, the first thing you do is hand the passports.
And you said you've seen lots of other people being detained. Who were they?
So those people were mostly from Ukraine.
You said several of them. Right?
Yeah, several, like 6 of them actually. So when we were detained, we were put in rooms and also in a common space. So in the common space, we were talking, we were free, and they would let you use your phone, but only in a very quarantined area.
Right.
So all your bags, they would go, everything, and you have to keep them in the locker. So when I met these people from Ukraine and we were talking, they were telling me they didn't know each other before, and they're telling me, hey, you see, for us, that's a Ukrainian, that's a Ukrainian, that's a Ukrainian. So here it clearly tells you this government does not want any Ukrainian people to come in the country, because that's a Ukrainian being stopped right there. That's a Ukrainian. And I was the only black person there. And I didn't see any other African or...
You said you saw some Filipinos or Asians?
Yeah, there were two Filipino women. Yeah, those are the only ones I saw. So it was Filipina. A majority were people from Ukraine and me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So no Americans were in there?
No Americans, no Europeans. I would say people with like different passports, like heavy passports for that say, they were not there. Actually, when I was talking to these people from Ukraine, they told me like their passports are really bad because they are not part of the European Union, and also they can't even go to Russia. Like they are super restricted.
Sure.
So because of that, so their passport is really weak. Okay. So that's what they told me. That's why they feel like really mistreated, because they're not attached to those, like big blocks or,
So after all this, you said one of the guys was nice enough to help you buy a SIM card. Was that true?
Yeah, because I was inside a room which didn't have any connection.
Sure.
So the Wi-Fi of the airport was once you leave that room, and they couldn't let you leave the room. So I talked to this guy, but in the walls they have written like, as a detainee, you have the right to make calls or to contact anybody.
Sure.
So but not inside the whole room, only in a particular provided small space. They can, if you take your phone, they let you go there. So when you finish your business, you get out of that space and they take your phone back. So I talked to this guy. He went out and bought me a SIM card. Only 2 things I bought from Hong Kong. I came back with 2 coins from Hong Kong and a SIM card.
So, and you also told me some people felt sorry for you.
Yeah, some people really felt sorry, especially like the customs and also these other immigration guys, because. But you see, these other immigration guys, for me, I feel like they are just small guys who work there. It
wasn't their decision.
Yeah, for them is to ensure like the decisions which are made are followed. They really felt sorry because I told them, bro, look, you are an immigration guy. Just give me a reason why you deny me. I'm just staying here for 8 days. I have my flight out. I already paid for my place to stay, my reservations, they already paid. I have money to sustain myself. Why, man?
Sure.
Actually, some of them really felt bad for me, And I was the only black guy there, so I was like standing out.
Sure. I think maybe as soon as they saw you there.
Yeah, but there was nothing they could do, man. There was nothing.
Did you see some like African Americans, maybe?
No,
nobody. No. You're the only.
Yeah, and actually, I read some comments. The guy he said he was an African American. When he arrived in Hong Kong, they detained him for 2 hours, and doing investigations. But he was African. The guy I was showing you, I think yesterday.
Sure.
I think he's a U.S. Navy. I think you know yourself, bro. So they let him go in. He told me he was stopped for 2 hours. But there's a Kenyan who, in the comments, I wish you guys can check my comments. And if you guys are still here, you can still comment. There's a Kenyan who said he tried going there and he
got denied.
He got denied.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at this point, what was the next? They gave you a choice of some choices of where to go.
Yeah, so they gave me 2 choices, because I told them this, bro, if you don't want me in your country, you can just let me be at the airport and book my flight for the next destination, That's what I told them.
Yeah.
So all they need to do is put me outside I mean, you know, inside the airport, but I've not crossed. I've not crossed into the country.
Sure.
And I book my flights and go to the next country I was going. They told me, no, you only have 2 options. Is either we send you back to your home country or we send you back to where you came from.
So some people are saying, why didn't you go to Philippines? Why didn't you go to Thailand? And
Yeah.
the reason is he had 2 choices: go back to your country or go back to where you came from.
Yeah.
And he came from
San
California.
Francisco, yeah.
California. So he didn't want to go back to Kenya, and so they sent him back to California, which was actually free, right? It didn't cost you anything.
Yeah, but actually even going back to Kenya was totally impossible because there was one girl from Ukraine who had left China for Hong Kong and her visa had expired. And they wanted to send her back to China. And the girl was like, I can't go to China because I don't have visa. Once I arrive there, it will be problematic. They'll again detain me there.
Sure.
So she refused. And this was really like sketchy. And you know, she was really arguing out and very strong and very outspoken and very aggressive. Not really like wanting to kick anybody, but she was like, no, I can't go because her flight was due and they told her, let's go, it's in 20 minutes. She said no. And these guys wanted like to carry her by force, you know?
Sure.
So at some point they came and said, you know, we were in a common area and she was like in a quarantined place. So they like top officials, you know, and police and everybody. And they came like, oh, you guys. So they are talking to us. You guys go to your rooms. You know, they had put us in a very small rooms.
Sure.
But it was not like if you go to that room, they lock you up.
There's no doors. Okay.
There were doors, but they were not like lockable.
Okay.
Because already there was space that you couldn't cross.
Sure.
So, you know, when this girl was like, I can't go to China, I can't go, they wanted to force her to go to China. And actually in the list there, you know, in the rules, they have put some rules which like will guide us as a detainee.
Sure.
Like for example, you cannot be forced to answer any questions you don't want to answer. And you cannot be forced to do things.
Sure.
Technically, that's what it was saying. And now they were forcing this girl to check her bag. And this girl said, no, I don't want you to check my bag because I don't know if you'll drop anything there. I can't trust you guys, you know. So when he became really wild and the flight left, they wanted like to carry her by force and take her out. I feel like they really had bad intentions because they told us to go back to our rooms and we said no.
Oh.
Yeah, they told us, hey, you get out of here. Actually, two of the officers crossed and came like to push us. And one was a couple from Ukraine. They said no. And even me, I also said no because you don't know if they push that girl that way, the next person is you, you know?
Yeah.
So in a way, we said no. And the good thing is the room has too many cameras everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah, so it was really crazy, man. Like me, I had to use my eye drop, but they couldn't let me use my eye drop. Even to go with it in my cell, like it's very small room, and they didn't let me go. Even to use it inside that room, they didn't. They had to push me in a place where there was no camera recording for me to put.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, can you think of any other reasons besides your passport why they denied you?
You know, okay. You know, I'm trying to be positive about this.
Sure.
You know, I'm trying to be positive about being denied entry. But I feel like it's like already they already know people who can come in. Even if they say visa free, they already know people who can come in and who they can't let in.
Sure.
Yeah. It's just a name like visa free, but actually it's not visa free for visa free countries.
So you guys have to understand, according to the Hong Kong laws, a Kenyan citizen can go into Hong Kong with no visa. But the first person he saw didn't even ask him any questions. You just said, "Oh no. You come over here for further questioning." And
yeah, exactly.
So there's something very wrong there. The first person should ask you questions and approve you and let you go, but he was already pre-selected as no, you can't come in. And they didn't know he was a YouTuber. They didn't know what he was doing there. They just saw his passport was Kenyan and decided to further process you.
Yeah, and actually the fact of being a YouTuber came after like I've been denied and now they're checking my bags and now they find the cameras and it's me who told them actually I work as a YouTuber, you know.
Sure.
So it's not like the YouTube thing like was the constraint like
sure.
or it's because of this we can't let you in.
Sure.
For me, I feel like the moment I stepped there, the moment the lady saw my passport, she already knew what is to follow. She didn't even ask me she would ask you some questions so that if they don't make sense, maybe your answers don't make sense, if she asks you and you don't make sense to her, then she can call a supervisor.
Sure.
But she checked like this, she went to the computer like 30 seconds. And she walked from there, she passed over my passport to the next person. And even the next person never asked me anything.
Sure.
She just told me, follow me here. And she passed it to the guy who made the decision.
Sure.
So for me, I feel like it was already predetermined, And it was during the weekend, I could not contact my embassy, I wrote my embassy an email. Let me check. Up to now, I don't think even they have replied.
So when he was in Hong Kong, he sent an email to the Kenyan consulate?
Yeah, Kenyan consulate.
Inside of Hong Kong. But it was, I think it was Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, it was Saturday.
So there was no luck for him to get any sort of replies.
Actually, up to now, they have not replied. So you can imagine.
And if you guys have any other ideas why they denied him, besides what we kind of think, please just leave a comment. Leave a comment on what you guys think.
Yeah, and maybe if you're an immigration officer from Hong Kong, you can give some highlight on this. Or if you're a Hong Kong official, yeah. But for me, I really felt really bad. I felt mistreated. I felt technically selected,
Sure.
And it was not worth it, man. Imagine I had flown from San Francisco. Actually, I flew from LA to San Francisco to connect. So the whole journey took me over 16 hours to reach Hong Kong.
Sure.
And when I was there, I was detained for 16 hours. Then coming back, we took a shortcut which took like 11 to 12 hours. So imagine all this time, even you psychologically, man, you are drained. And they gave us food. They gave us food there, but nobody trusted them, man. Even people didn't eat their food. Already when somebody says they don't want in their country, anything, you already feel like you want to be in a defense. You want to take care of yourself. Yeah.
Sure. So, let's see.
And my bag was searched like maybe 5 to 6 times.
5 to 6 times.
Yeah.
Okay, so you said some of the Hong Kong people actually felt sorry for you?
Oh yeah, they felt sorry for me actually. As I was saying, some immigration officers were nice, but they didn't have a say, They were
Sure.
just nice, but they couldn't have a say.
Sure.
So, and there's nothing they could do about that.
And one of them actually was nice enough to give you a SIM card, buy you a SIM card with your money and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think we can end the video here.